Talking with the Experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. My name's Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com, and Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners, and you can find it on all good podcasting streams and on YouTube. And today my guest is Liz Fleming, and Liz is the efficiency coach. Essentially, she's a business mentor and an accountant who knows a thing or two about creating efficiencies in small businesses. After years of a successful corporate career in finance in the energy sector, Liz is now utilising her skills and knowledge to assist small businesses to become efficient as possible. Liz has an eye for creating efficient ways for businesses to operate. You know, how there are not enough hours in the day, well, you don't need to worry about that when Liz is around, because she's going to help you find those extra hours and make your time more efficient. Welcome, Liz.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me about how people can make their time and use it more efficiently without losing, productivity.
I think the biggest thing around efficiency is knowing where you spend your time. When I start working with clients, I say, where you spend your time, how many hours, and they look at me blankly because they just go about their day, the next day, the week, the month, and they're not taking stock of where they're wasting time, things that they aren't so good at, trying to get things done, worrying about the cleaning of the house and all that stuff. So it's about, first thing is working out where you spend your time and whether that's the best use of your time with all the things that you want to get done in your day, in your week, with the resources, with your staff, with your family. So we always look at that first, and we also talk about what they want to be spending their time on. So people might be spending their time and they're busy, but they're not doing the things that they thought they'd be doing in their business. They're doing their bookkeeping and they hate computers. They just want to be growing the crop or producing the product. They don't want to do all that back end stuff. So then we work out, okay, where's the best place to either outsource or get someone else in, or just change some processes to make it more efficient so that they can free up that time for the stuff that they do enjoy doing in their business.
Yeah, so I have heard that the old time management is now a misnomer and there's no such thing anymore.
Yeah, I think it's about, I think my big thing for efficiency is the awareness, knowing how you spend your time and being able to put a time limit on your tasks that you're doing, and then with that comes the planning and the scheduling of when you're going to do everything. So no, I think time management is even more critical as we get busier. There's more demands. There's still only 168 days in a week. It's only 24 hours in a day. We still have to sleep. We still have to eat. We still have to exercise. And unfortunately for a lot of business owners, they're prioritising their business over all those other things. And then that causes issues around family and health, and just burnout and just not enjoying business, and definitely not how they saw themselves when they started their business in the first place, which is normally out of passion or a great skill that they wanted to take to the masses. So it's aligning their goals. But no, time management is more critical than ever.
Okay, so how are ways that perhaps business owners can review their tasks in their business and more align it to their business goals?
So one task I get my clients to do, which people look at me a bit strange when I ask them to do this, is carry around a piece of paper for a week, split up by the hours of the days, and writing down how they spend those hours. So are they on the phone? Are they in the shed? Are they in the car? Are they dropping off kids? Are they making dinner? All those things. And at the end of it, then they get a real picture of, I am spending 10 hours a week on invoices and I thought it was only 2. So there's no point asking people. You've actually got to go through the phases and just jot your tasks down simply on your phone or on a piece of paper for a week, and then take that as a bit of a typical week. And then you can use it in two ways. You can see where you're wasting time, where you might have pockets of time, but also being able to say, well, I spend 5 hours doing bookkeeping, so I'm going to outsource that for 4 hours or a certain cost, and then that'll free me up 5 hours to do some other stuff that needs to be done in the business. So then that links into how you're valuing your time, what your hourly rate is, and a lot of business owners will tell you that they're not even paying themselves anything. So it also makes them then think that they need to factor in their time into their product pricing and in everything they do. So it links in with knowing where they're spending the time in the first place, but doing that timetable for a week or a couple of weeks is really important and is the first step to knowing how to get efficiencies in your business.
Yeah, there's a lady on, and I don't recall her name, but she advocates using a calendar every single day. She's got like it's all color coded, and it's a time management calendar. And she will not start her day without it. It's like, she's got time slots for absolutely everything, like from eating lunch to email time and Facebook time and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, she's a real time focused person, and she won't be tracked on anything like that. I actually attended one of her trainings a few years ago, and it really opened my eyes to the efficiencies that you could make in your business just using that simple planner. It was quite, as I said, eye-opening, because I didn't realise I was wasting so much time doing stuff that really wasn't important.
Definitely, yep. And that's, you can work out what you're spending your time on, but is it even a priority, or is it even something you need to be doing, or is it something that you can do less frequently is really important. And you touched on the planner, and I think some people get scared of that because they go from no planning or no tracking to my number one tip for that is just to have one planner. Some people have a business planner or a diary, they've got it on their phone, then they've got the kids' stuff on the fridge. And my big tip is have it one place. So everything gets put into whatever works for you, whether it's your paper diary, but then you're going to take that paper diary with you so that when you're out and about and you're booking a coffee with a friend or on the phone, it's in that diary. So you're not then trying to find your bits of paper and work out where am I supposed to be and losing time that way too. So I do have to coach my clients into tracking it, and your example seems very extreme, but I think people get to that when they realise the benefits of spending their time, and all of a sudden it's 6 o'clock and they're home for dinner and they're like, whoa, that didn't happen for a while. So there's all those great benefits that you can't put a value on, and that's really what we're aiming for.
So how can people do the same, or do more with the same or less? So how can they, get more time in their day by doing more with the same amount of time, or, even doing it in less time?
So I think it's what you touched on before. It's around creating that focus. One way I do that, and this doesn't work for everybody, but is writing a to-do list. So having your piece of paper and reviewing that every day and updating it for what you didn't get done the day before. And I sometimes even start with a fresh piece of paper each day, take yesterday's list, what didn't get completed yesterday goes on today's list. And you can go as far as picking out 3 things that you're going to definitely do today and make them your priority. And then the other trick I've got is that instead of highlighting at the start of the day what your most important ones are, you actually use the highlighter to mark off your tasks. So at the end of the day, you end up with a colourful piece of paper with more done, and the motion of actually ticking them off gives you that satisfaction, and you're like, right, what am I doing now? And I did this last Saturday where I had 15 things on my list and I had about 4 hours, and I thought, and I just a creative focus. I was like, right, done that one. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? And you don't even start looking at your phone or thinking about anything else. If you can do your to-do list with some time frames in it, it'll be very surprising how much you can achieve with no distractions or minimal distractions. Don't answer your phone, put it away. And I think that's one thing where people at the moment, think they need to answer their phone straight away, be accessible. But if you've got some things to do, blocking out even 2 hours a day or 2 hours a week even to get those really crucial things that you keep putting off, and locking yourself away somewhere to get them done, you don't come out till you do it. But it's around knowing what you've got to do and being disciplined to stay in that spot and not letting get off track, not only your emails, not doing anything else, so only having those documents that are related to those tasks is really important, and clearing your desk and then just getting on with them and doing them.
Yeah, well, two things. It's really, I love when I've made a list and I can actually tick the things off that I've achieved. I think, oh my God, there's no crosses, they're all ticks, and I think that's wonderful. Feels so great. You know, it makes you feel good because you've actually know that you've achieved whatever it is that you'd set yourself out to do. And and I agree with you about, you know, making priorities. I try not to make new lists, I think, because they just keep getting longer and longer and longer because you always find other things to add to it. So I try to get one list finished first before I go on to the next one, but that's just a personal preference, I think.
Definitely, and I think that's an important point, is to work out what works for you. Some people aren't list people. They might be the post-it notes on the wall or on the fridge or their planner. And it depends how much detail you need to plan to. So some people plan out their day, their hours, and then if they get sidetracked by lunchtime, they've given up because they haven't been able to stick to their schedule, and that's even worse. So I say to some people like that, just plan out 2 or 3 things that you're going to do for the day. They're your focus. Then if you get to lunchtime, everything else after that is a bit of a bonus. And you said before, you feel better, and then you're like, whoa, I did so many things and I only wanted to do 3. So we always want to do more with less, and it is achievable, and it's not that drastic, and it just comes back to being aware of what you're spending your time on, how you're doing it, and just creating that focus.
Yeah, so I guess tasks like emails, like answering your emails and your Facebook messages, you know, business messages and stuff like that, should you be setting time aside each day to do those, or, you know, as you said, or just leave them be and just focus on one task at a time?
So I think definitely emails and Facebook message and email, you set up an automatic response saying, hey, thanks for your message, I'll respond in a couple of days or the next day or soon. So you're creating that expectation for your client or customer to know that, okay, you're not going to respond straight away, but they feel heard. And then whatever works for you. So it might be that you set aside half an hour in the morning, half an hour at lunchtime, and half an hour at night. And that means no one's waiting for more than 4 or 5 hours to be responded to if you do want to make that part of your customer journey. But also turning off your emails during the day when you are doing those other tasks, so stop the pop-ups, is really important. And also making sure that when you do your emails, you're just as focused on that task as well. So don't look at your emails if you haven't got time to respond to the quick ones that can go. And then how you file your emails, those more complex ones that you need to follow up for later, is really important as well. So I have a bit of a rule: only sort out your emails once, complete, read, done, so that you're not flicking through them. And then also making sure that you file your emails in a logical way, so you're not scrolling through your inbox trying to find that email. So being organised with that is really important. But also making sure you recognise that just because someone sent an email late at night and you might still be up working, they don't feel like you need to respond. And this is something that I've found with a lot of clients, where they think someone's sent me a message, I need to respond straight away. And it's actually flipping that round. No, that person just sent that email because it was convenient to them. You respond when it's convenient to you, and giving yourself permission that, yes, I'll respond to that first thing in the morning or when it's my email time. So if you need to communicate that to your customers around setting those expectations, put that in a automatic out of office or an automatic response to your Facebook, and then they know, because then what you can get into wasting time at 11 o'clock at night, or when you're trying to cook dinner, you send one response and you think you've answered and that will be the end of it, and you're still texting these people 2 hours later and you still haven't made a sale, and then you've just wasted a whole lot of time, and then you've burnt dinner and things like that. So it's about giving yourself permission to, like, no, I'm going to respond when when it's my Facebook time, and however that works for you. It might be 2 hours at night, might be outsourcing that, so getting someone else to even answer the questions. And also in Facebook, you can actually have questions, common questions come up and automatic answers. So if it's like, what's your website? It's already there and it's prompted. The other trick I've got for people that have a lot of messages come through Facebook at all hours, because everyone's on social media all the time, on your main business page, make sure that that blue button is not message us. So if you've got a website, refer it to the website. If you've got a shop, make sure that button is not message us. The message button's still there, but it's not quite so prominent and not quite so easy for them to, I'll just send a quick message, because it's not a quick message. And making sure you don't set that precedence that you are going to respond straight away, and that you're not engaging with them. If they can make the sale on a website, on your website, just refer them to the website rather than getting into dialogue about it.
That's a really good.
Lots of time.
That's a really good tip. Yeah, I might change my Facebook page now.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think I've got 2 buttons on mine, but I think mine's message first. But yeah, I'll have a look. I can't remember. I guess
It's too easy for them to, I'll just.
Yeah, well, that's true. It is. Yeah, I'm guilty of doing that to other business owners or whatever, because I work quite late at night. So I think, oh my God, I've just thought of something. I need to send them a quick message, and yeah, it's sometimes it's just too easy.
Which is fine, as long as the business owner doesn't think that they need to respond because you've sent the message. So it's
that's correct,
and you're not expecting a response. Being efficient with your time to say, I'll send that now while I remember, rather than writing on my to-do list and putting it on for a task for tomorrow. And that leads into another tip that I've got that's a well-known tip. It's a 2-minute rule. So if it's going to take less than 2 minutes, just do it now, because it'll take you more time to put it on your to-do list, to write an email to tell someone how to do it. And if it's less than that, just get some of those done. Just make sure that you're not doing 52-minute jobs all in one go and all of a sudden 2 hours has disappeared. So
yeah. You did mention about your emails. Do you file yours in like little folders, or do you just leave them all in your inbox?
I do a bit of both. So I do file the ones that may be a subscription or some FYI ones. My client ones I put into their client folders, which I normally file away sort of on a fortnightly basis. So again, scheduling some time to clean up your emails. And then also the other good habit is to get into is deleting emails that you've read that you don't need to do anything about. So really critically thinking, do I need to really keep this? If the answer is yes, file it away. If the answer is no, delete it and let it go. But again, that's personal preference. Some people like having them all in their inbox so they can easily search for them and not try and remember what folder they've put it into. And also a lot of people can get stressed out by seeing that they've got 50 unread emails. So again, going through whatever you subscribe to, they might have had some offer on and now you're getting 10 emails a day. Go into that email and click unsubscribe. So once a month, I do review my email inbox to work out what ones I can unsubscribe to that are just clogging up my emails on a daily basis, which is just annoying. And, you signed up for them once for something and you got one.
Yeah, I've started making that a habit too. I used to have like an inbox with like 700 emails in it, which I'd read, but I just left them sitting there and I hadn't filed them. But I mean, I've always been a filer, but some of them I thought, I'll just leave them there for later. And I'd either responded to them or they were just emails from a business that I'd subscribed to. And, so I ended up unsubscribing because really the emails didn't interest me any longer, and I had no need to be involved with that particular company. So,
yeah, definitely. And it's about letting go. If you then later on want to resubscribe, you can if you're missing them. But more often than not, if at the end of the month you've got all these unread messages, go through them. If they're all subscribed emails and things, unsubscribe because you're clearly not reading them because they're still in your unread.
I've done that too. I've actually subscribed using 2 different email addresses, so I'm getting the same email at 2 addresses, and that is annoying.
Another thing around that is if you do want to really take charge of that, is create a whole new email address for those subscribed ones, and then they're in a whole new inbox that you go in and check every now and again, but they're not clogging up your main email or inbox.
That's a good idea. That's a great tip. Okay, Liz, let me tell you, where can people find you in the world, other than in Australia? I know that, but social media and website or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Liz Fleming the Efficiency Coach, and I've got a website www.theefficiencycoach.com.au.
Perfect. And have you got any wonderful tips for us?
I think the other one that I really like sharing, and maybe it's the accountant in me, is setting your own deadlines and creating a bit of internal pressure. So if you've got a whole list of stuff that you're like, oh, I'll do it one day, and it's not really important, but it does need to be done, set those deadlines. So if you've got a series of those tasks that could be done this week or next week, make some due on Friday or whatever day and some due next Friday, break it up. And then again, you get that sense of achievement. Oh, you've done those 3 and you might get some more done. But I find, and this is definitely how I work, if I don't have a deadline, I either create one, or then someone will say, oh, have you done that? Oh, yes, I'll do it by tomorrow, and I'm scrambling to do it the night before. So now especially working for myself in my own business, setting client expectations as well as my own deadlines has been a real help to make sure that I can plan ahead, make sure I've got everything I need to meet those deadlines. And then also the client knows that's when they can expect that work, and so they're not following up with me as well. So it's a two-way street and saving time on both sides, but setting their own deadlines, even if they're fictitious, to make you do the work and stop that procrastination on social media or whatever, linked with your to-do list, can be a real winner for some people.
Yeah, I've got 2 whiteboards sitting next to me. One's for all my appointments and everything, and the other one is like my big to-do list, that if I've got like major tasks that I need to do, and I actually set deadlines for those. So yeah, that really helps me heaps. So it's.
And I think the other major tip is everything we've talked about today, is writing it down. A lot of people say, oh, it's all in my head. But you want to be able to physically, whether it's in your phone or on a piece of paper, tick that off and see it. And also perhaps even share it with people to say, this is what I'm going to do today, and create that accountability and check in with them, whether it's your partner or your boss or your colleague, to say, this is what I said I was going to do. This is what I've done. And then you can strive towards getting more done for the day.
Absolutely. Yep. That's a great tip. Yeah. That's why I like my whiteboard. All right, Liz, thank you so much for your time today. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we go today?
No, I'd just like to say thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to working with more small business in Australia soon.
All right, lovely. Thanks, Liz.
Thank you.